Well, I figured it's time for the 3-week update of Pregabalin. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, okay? So if you've just started taking it, you're a little bit worried, don't watch this. It's not a horror story, it's just my story. It's my experience with the drug so far, and it's been 3 weeks. Now, obviously, if you saw my previous video after 1 week, you saw that I went through a kind of euphoric stage, which I had read about, and it was good. And I thought, well, this is great. My mood's great. You know, I could deal with the side effects, which gradually wore off. And then we went into week 2, and I was quite busy with various things. And then getting into week 3, I noticed I have read and seen people on YouTube saying that they reached like an unmotivated stage. Now, I don't know how long this stage lasts, but I have reached this stage, this unmotivated, nothing interests me, I have no enthusiasm for anything, I have no motivation to do anything. Everything feels pretty black. I think there's a mix in there of a bit of PMT as well, which has a lot to answer for. Maybe that's a lot of it. I don't know, but I don't normally feel this bad. For the last 5 days, I have only left the house twice, and I have been going to sleep really late. I've been waking up really late, and then feeling frustrated with myself that I've wasted half the day by sleeping in till midday, which already gets me off on a bad footing. And my routine in the morning is to sit down, cup of tea, my vape, have a look at Facebook, catch up on emails, maybe have a look on YouTube, and then I'll think, right, I normally have a list, and I normally write myself a list each day or each evening for the next day of what I've got the day ahead, so I know I've got a plan in order. And I haven't been doing that. It's like, meh, I'll figure it out in the morning. And of course the morning comes and you're like, meh. You know, I haven't wanted to do anything. I don't even want to have to communicate with people. I don't even want to have to speak. I don't even want to wash. I have washed today, and over those 5 days I washed 3 times out of 5 days. So I didn't completely soap dodge, but you can see I'm normally one for, once I'm up, shower is the first port of call. I can't leave the house unless I'm showered and looking presentable. That went out the window. No, didn't give a shit. Just sat in pyjamas, looking like a slob, switching from making a cup of tea, laying on the sofa, laying in the bed, coming back down, looking at the housework, going, oh, don't want to do that. And I've got lots of little problems going on in life at the moment. Not going to bore you with them, but you know, they're not serious problems, but I've got lots of little problems. But what keeps happening is, in my head, all of these little problems are adding up, and they seem to be making a mountain that just seems insurmountable. You know, it just seems so big to try and challenge and tackle all these problems that are on my shoulders. I'm not sharing it on anyone else's shoulders. It's all things that are on my shoulders and only I can deal with. And I feel pretty useless. You know, a lot of them are probably have been made bigger in my head because of how I feel right now. Had I been in a better frame of mind, I would be able to shrug it off a lot easier. But instead, I'm finding myself in these you know, totally demotivated phases. I mean, for example, I'll be honest. Today I got up at 10. I sat messing around on my phone for 2 hours. 2 hours. I mean, it's Saturday. There was no real plans on. The kids were laying in. But 2 hours I wasted on my phone. And then I decided after those 2 hours, rather than then get on with the things that need doing around the house and what have you, I thought, do you know what? I want some more sleep. So I got in bed. And then the kids got up. And then they needed to ask me questions. And then there was a phone call. And then just when I start nodding off, then the door goes and it's a delivery man and he needs a signature. So I didn't get any sleep, but instead I laid dwelling and churning and fretting over all the things on my mind rather than sleeping. The whole point of sleeping was to avoid and just escape from all of this worry, but instead I had the opposite effect, where I just lay there thinking about them all, awake, until eventually at 3 o'clock my partner called me. Now, I ignored the call to start with, and then he knew something was up, and I tried to just message. He wanted to FaceTime, and I tried to just message and say, look, I don't feel like talking, blah blah blah. He knows me, and he was like, come on, I want to see you. And I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed for him to see that at gone 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I was still in my pyjamas looking like a bag lady. So he got a little bit heated. He's frustrated with how I am. So it turned into a little bit of an argument. Not a massive argument, but a bit of an argument, with me trying to just say how I felt and him saying that I need to snap out of it. And he wanted to plan some things for us to do, and I'm like, no, because I don't feel like doing them. I can't explain it. It's like nothing else. I know what the problem is, but the idea of tackling that problem, i.e. to not feel so isolated and lonely and like nobody cares that I'm sat here for 5 days just basically in a pit of doom. I think the only way that I'm going to get any break from it is to go out and speak to someone, socialise, even if I don't talk about what's going on with me, just to get a change of scenery, get away from the house, speak to someone, just a normal conversation, you know. But the idea of having to put that effort in just to get showered, put makeup on, dry my hair, style my hair, find something to wear, and then have to put a smile on and fake chit chat, and not doable. Just not doable. So anyway, my partner said, right, I'm coming round now because I'm worried about you. And that made me start to panic. I thought, oh my God, I was sweating. My vest top I had under boob sweat and everything. I thought, oh my God, look at me. You know, and then I thought, I'm going to have to be able to hold a conversation, and my brain was just in this fog. It was just this slow fog of misery, and the idea of having to converse with someone and be in someone's presence and them see me like that. So I took a lorazepam to calm the panic, and I jumped straight in the shower. And I suppose it was kind of what I need. I needed a short, sharp shock to get me to, you know, to react. And, you know, he turned up, and I was showered, and he gave me a hug, and, you know, and he was nice. I thought he was going to be all arsey, and he wasn't. He was nice. I think he could see that this isn't just a little grump, not just a little mood. There's more to it than that. And I'm just praying it doesn't last. I'm really hoping it doesn't last. Like I say, it's been 5 days. I mean, you're seeing the good side, because once he was here, I thought, well, I better put makeup on. I better look half decent, get out of pyjamas and put real clothes on. And so I did. And obviously once the lorazepam kicked in, I started to feel a bit calmer. And since then I have cooked dinner. I've had something to eat 'cause I didn't eat anything yesterday. And I'd only eaten a bowl of cereal up until having dinner. So at least I've eaten. I feel, I don't know, I suppose tomorrow morning will tell, because it seems to be mornings are the worst, because it's the start of a whole new day, and it's the start of what shall I do today? What have I got to tackle today? What needs doing today? You know, and then the avoidance of doing all those things kicks in, and the just no energy, no enthusiasm, no motivation. It's been crippling. These last 5 days, it's crippled me. And I suppose I'm just going to have to dig deep and see if I can find the energy to override it. But I do think, like I said earlier, I think a little bit of it is PMT, but I think quite a large portion of it is the pregabalin, because it fogs you, it dulls you a bit, and you lose your, you know, your love for life. I've got no love for life at the moment. So yeah, sorry it's not a chipper, cheery vid this time. I mean, I will say it has helped with my generalised anxiety. My day-to-day anxiety is definitely lower, although I did get panicky today. I explained why, you know, someone was coming round and I was looking like death, and I was embarrassed, and so I just had to get with it. But yeah, that's the lowdown. Hopefully my next update will be a bit more positive.